So, I want Wes Anderson to make a horror movie. I think this would be awesome, right? I mean, he's sort of all dollhouses and all this kind of stuff, and boxes within boxes and all that kind of stuff. But I think he could do a horror movie with that style, and it'd be amazing. The way the camera moves and pans over, and you can have a new type of kind of jump scare, even though jump scares are pretty pathetic, but whatever.
No, it would be incredibly unsettling.
Yeah. Right?
It feels unsettling to begin with.
It's supposed to feel charming, Chris. What's wrong with you?
I want to be comforted by my jump scare.
Do you want to be comforted by your jump scare?
Yeah. Like I like when they just come up behind you and just grab you. You know, it's like a hug in there somewhere.
So I saw the Eggers Nosferatu movie the other day, and then I also watched Red Letter Media's review of it, which was hilarious. No, it's great. It's a great movie. It's Dracula, or it's Nosferatu. It's a remake of the 1920s Nosferatu movie. It's excellent, and it's got Johnny Depp's daughter in it, who does an immaculate job. It's amazing.
Oh, nice.
But one of the comments that is read off, and I believe this is in the Red Letter Media video, is somebody saying...
Oh, Jay's got the giggles. It's gonna be good.
I can't even get it out. It's like worst post nut, like back to reality movie ever kind of thing. It's just, if you know anything about the 1920s Nosferatu, like the Mina character kind of basically keeps Count Dracula in the room with him until the sunlight comes up. And the way they do it in this movie is by having her basically sleep with him. And then it's like when like post coitus, he realizes like, oh shit, like wait, oh, it's daytime, dead.
No.
Like, when you're coming down from being like the Hulk because you're too kind of like, like you can't think because somebody else is thinking for you.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man.
I honestly like laughed out loud in the movie theater during this very like poignant moment. It's like there's like a look where he kind of does he almost does like a double take towards the window, like wait what?
Oh no!
Like is Dracula / Count Orlok going to do like the walk of shame? He's got to pick his shoes up and like walk back to.
He can't.
Yeah, no, he can't anymore.
You can collect him in the shoes,
Right.
What's left of them.
So one might say, he fucked up. And that leads us perfectly into our theme today. But first off, welcome back to the 3RPG Podcast. My name is Jay Underwood.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Sandra Rosner.
And today we are talking about when GMs and players fail.
Fail?
We don't fail.
Oh, we fuck up.
Yeah, no, like literally every week.
I have a list of like 25 things.
You have a list of 25 things?
Whoa!
In order of magnitude, I hope?
No.
This boy messes up a lot.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm glad you got something because I'm the perfect GM. No. I just screw up in life. I get it all out of the way. I get it all out of the way in my real life, so that when I get to the D&D table, I'm good to go. I'm like,
See, all of my screw ups are all planned. So
planned screw ups.
Wait, is that a thing?
What?
No. They're planned, but then they don't work out how I intend them to.
No.
It's almost like I needed a comma somewhere.
No. Oh no. What is that from? What is that? Oh no.
Oh, it's from a lot of videos.
I'm thinking World of Warcraft, but you guys don't play, because that sounds like Wom Somdi for our listeners.
Know your memes.
No.
I don't know my memes.
All right, Chris, why don't you start us off then?
Okay. My first one would be too many NPCs.
Oh.
My players love collecting NPCs, and eventually they're in like a group of like 20 people, and they all want to travel together.
You have the time I sat in on your game for a few sessions, I was like, there are a lot of NPCs here.
Yeah, there are tons of them. Too many NPCs mean too many actions, means too long of combat. So, yeah.
All right, do they all have names beginning with the same letter, though? Please tell me. I try
not to. That's we've talked about this. My rules for naming.
Go back to the NPC episode. Yeah, they don't have rules.
I make sure that none of the
Pathfinder though. He's playing Pathfinder, so the round of combat in Pathfinder takes a while.
Oh yeah, for every character. So that happens quite a bit, and it keeps on happening again because they just love the NPCs. So
wait. This needs more explanation. Why do your players love NPCs? Because, like, in my experience, the biggest problem is trying to remember names, right? And unless you've like established them, like won a session where you've gotten to know them, love them, hate them, something, right? It's like, it's like they get nicknames. Honestly, like if there's too many NPCs, they just get nicknames instead. Like, why do your players love more NPCs?
Yeah, I had my first character was called Santios, but all the other players just called him Pantyhose the whole time.
This is 100% fact.
Whoa, what? Wait, that wasn't a joke?
No, not even a joke.
No, it was totally. I mean, we didn't when we were RPing, but
my
the
first
whole
character
rest
was
of
a
the
big dragon slayer type of heroic character, Pantyhose.
Pantyhose. The dangers of fantasy names.
and then the real broody character at the table, whose name was Grey Wolf. We just called him Pink Bunny.
Oh my god,
that was his nickname. You can't make a punny name. You just change the color of the animal.
I was going through some of my files today, and I actually saw one of the pictures, little Pink Bunny pictures. We just like harassed him with.
Oh my goodness!
Strange timing on that one.
Amazing. R.I.P. Scott.
No, the reason why is because it's been an ongoing campaign, and over hundreds and hundreds of sessions. They make new friends, but they don't want to lose them. And when you have to run from a country, you want to bring everyone with you. So that's pretty much what happened.
To be fair. Like, so you're playing like Diaspora, the RPG game. So,
yes.
Like,
yes.
We to be fair, our last year campaign was aboard a ship, and we named most of the people aboard the ship, and there was a lot of NPCs, and they could pick and choose who they're going to bring on the mission with them based on their skill set and whatnot. I mean, that's maybe an episode for a future date, but is how you deal with like a big roster of NPCs. I've been vacillating back and forth about using the whole like index cards with a bunch of skills that they could use and the players use them as assets on their turn to give them empowerment and control over the NPCs. But anyway, that's for another time. Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the biggest problems I think is like every campaign that I run, eventually if it's gone over like 15 sessions, they end up having like between like 5 and like 25 people that are following them.
Wow.
So
they're hoarders.
Yeah.
They have an NPC hoarding problem.
Roadies.
Roadies. I mean, I think that's honestly lovely because there's some like fantasy series that just so many names, and they're all relevant, they're all beloved, everything. So I just think that's a testament to your storytelling, Chris.
Yeah, well, they remember all their names too, so
bonus points.
Yeah, bonus points there.
No nicknames to be found.
That's what
no, they have nicknames too, but
that's what NPR stands for now. Yeah, non-player roadies.
Roadie.
Okay, I think I've got one. As a GM, one of my biggest fuck ups, maybe we should. What should we call them?
Screw ups.
Screw ups. One of my biggest screw ups is, I think I love. Okay, this requires a little bit of backstory. So, the hero is a tragic figure, in my opinion. To be the hero, you have to sort of like sacrifice something of the regular layman's life, the peaceful life in a way. You have to do something for the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
And players that want to become heroes have to sort of go through this trial by fire. It's very Magic Flute or very Freemasonry. Anyway, the point is, they're going to come back as different people, and they may lose the thing that they wanted to in the first place, which at the same time as being kind of a perk and what makes it kind of like a genre specific to my campaign world, it also perhaps makes players occasionally feel like, we can't win this. I'm not the hero of my game. I'm not doing an Avengers movie where at the end, after a 30-minute CGI fest, I best the bad guy. Like, the bad guy's death will inevitably lead to even worse things, and it's just very dour in that regard. So if it's a screw up, I suppose it's sort of I don't tap into a kind of heroism that is superheroism, I suppose. And maybe that's a screw up, maybe not. Maybe that's a tonal thing, but I think I could be doing better with giving players victories. I suppose I allow the players themselves to find victories in this world that's very cruel.
Well,
Okay.
we talked a bit about buy-in, like in like our session 0 episode, where if your players know that like death is on the
Yep.
line, this is the risk. I mean, that's what they're showing up for. Because I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody, of course, but
No, speak for everybody.
everyone, listen up. But you play long enough, and if there's no stakes, there's no chance of losing, there's no, dramatic death moments, I'm bored. I'm gonna be bored. I'm gonna be very bored. So
If there are no stakes, Count Dracula's happy.
terrible. Terrible.
How about you, Sandra? Then what's a time that you feel as a player or even as a storyteller where you're like, oh, that was a misstep?
I mean, I really only have one solid player screw up, and it's a big one. It's a kind of an all-encompassing one.
I beg to differ. I'm just kidding.
I think it might encompass.
Interesting. Go on.
So I kind of consider it like the blank out. Like it's your turn to do something, and you're just like,
oh yeah,
in shock, right? You see somebody else is doing the thing, and somebody else is doing the thing, or somebody took the move you were gonna do, and you're like, well, damn. Yeah, the blank out moment. So sitting here and thinking like, well, what have I done in those moments? First off, like the obvious thing is hold your action, right? Just buy time. Yeah. And I would very much advocate for RPing the shock or the indecision or something, because at least you keep the immersion going, even while you're fumbling hard, trying to figure out what to do. So some other ideas that I had.
Hashtag fumble hard.
Fumble hard. It's gonna happen. Hard. No matter how long you've been playing, you're just gonna be like, I don't know. But yeah, like
I'm just imagining some monk just like did like with dishes, like whoa. Crash.
Use it. But like I want your input on this too, because you've obviously seen the fumble moments, and it's like, ooh, you're crashing and burning. But some other things that I've done is like sort of crowdsource the solution, like bring your team members in, be like, I don't know what to do. What should I do? But as long as you're RPing it, you're still doing something, right? You're still in the story. I don't know, make the RP a weakness, like lean in hard to the fact that you like create a problem. Your sword just broke, or you left your bag by the tree. Actually make it harder. Make the situation harder on yourself to give you more assets to play with.
That's a full episode right there. The fumble, I think. But do you want to comment on that?
So what would you do to help a player who's fumbling, basically?
Okay, well, if it was a role, I think that's easy. Sometimes what a player doesn't like is like if you're this heroic figure and then it's your moment to shine and you roll a 1 and you as a GM dictate the fact that they trip over their own shoelaces because like during camp the rogue had tied them together or whatever.
Yeah, I love the ones.
No. But that's a terrible. What I'm getting at is that's a terrible thing to do. That would be a failure. I think if this is the moment that the hero has a moment, but he still fails it, you can make your description such that like there is a reason why, like some alternate, and that actually opens up another pathway to the story. You realize you've come all this way, and this is your moment. You're finally confronting the what have you, and then you can't do it because the player rolled a 1. You realize, they happen to be, they remind you of whatever, and like there's ways to make it cool. There's ways to make fumble forward. right? Hashtag fumble forward.
I mean, I actually feel like this bears an example because we had a recent one. And it was like a crucial, like this had to pass kind of a moment. You know, the big bad was going to win. We were going to get trapped in a city kind of a thing. And I'd made the decision to foolproof it. If I lost my role of stealth and they hit me, I dropped a bomb kind of thing. And they'd die anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of creativity you can do almost anticipating the fumble. But yeah, I mean, be creative. Don't get dragged down by the fumble.
Well, and if it's in the mental state, if it's in the role play above the table, as it were, rather than in the mechanics, and the players struggling to come up with what they should do, you can make that part of the narrative. You as the camera can move back and forth in time, you zoom into that character's thought process, slow down the timeline, move into like what they might be thinking about, go to a scene even, right? In our last episode that we played, we had like a scene within a scene within a scene within a scene. We kept going backwards in time to establish like this character's motivation, and then like, oh, we reached a kind of like a tangent such that like, oh, what is this character going to make at this decision? Well, we don't know, so we have to go back to here. Then we went back to there, and then at that point, a character didn't know what they were going to do, so we had to go back to there. Then as everything kind of like cascaded forward, it's like almost like Leonardo DiCaprio coming out of Inception. He had to go through all the layers of the dream that caught us back up to the moment, and that could be a really fun. Like you can have a whole session based on a character, or rather a player, who doesn't know what they want to do in the moment where they're about to wield their sword, and then you go back into their mind and just replay all this thing, and then at the end of the session they roll the dice to see if they do it. I mean, that could be amazing. That could be an amazing one-off, right? And then that changes everything, right?
Sounds like we need another workshop.
That's crazy.
I bring the crazy boy.
I will say the moment he's referencing was incredibly fun, and it I feel like it opened up a lot of other pathways that we probably as players weren't quite thinking. We were so in the moment, and I was like, oh yeah, connect these dots. It was incredible. So Chris, how about you? How would you help your player who blanked out? Is there anything that we haven't touched on?
Well, the DM can always help out with that, right? They can always either give them something to work with, right? So like tell them, okay, yeah, maybe so your character is frozen in fear, right? You can like perhaps allow them that time, to play that up. Give them some leeway, pretty much. Yeah, it's just like give the player a little bit more time, right? Don't rush them. You don't want to push them too hard, but like if tell them that they have the option to delay if that's not something that's apparent to them, right? And yeah, just like play into it, like play into the fun of someone having an inability to make a decision.
Yeah, back to other screw ups.
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a micromanager when it comes to some certain aspects of my campaign, and that is not good. That's it, to the point where it's become a problem.
How so? Like, how does this impact? Is it like too much description, or is it you're being too prescriptive for actions, or
I'm being too stingy, I guess. Like
I'm incredibly stingy with giving out magical items and experience points. Yeah, so that could be a screw up in a matter of speaking. But I think
I'm talking more along the lines of like when they level up, I have very strict requirements for certain skills and things like that. Like they can't just add like skill points and ranks to things that are not relevant to anything they've done since the last time they leveled up.
But right. I think that's what players at your table really kind of like in a way, because they feel kind of like it's a guided experience. But I could see why you're being self-critical here and saying that.
But it was almost to the point where I was like, I was requiring them to like write up why they deserve to add ranks to stuff. Pretty much, it was a little too far.
A 5-page essay on why you're using this ability.
How come your climbing skill has all of a sudden gone from an 8 to a 14? Please explain.
But that comes from a place of actually trying to get the players to really think about where they're leveling up and how they're leveling up, and then what gets into their head. It's kind of a good pedagogical method of getting them to think about what they're doing before they level up, so that when they do level up, they have a reason to justify what they're doing. I think
there are so many stats. There are so many stats in Pathfinder, and having them do that for everything, that's a little too much.
It could be. I thought you were going a different direction with this, because I remember playing with you once, and it was both and I think I've referenced this before in a very early episode. It was both charming
and annoying,
aggravating and equal measure. Yeah, which was, and this is not the level up mechanic, which was the classic when I went to an inn moment. My character went to an inn, and I ordered an ale or whatever, and I wanted to see what was on the menu, and you said, "Hold on," in real life, and you opened up a binder.
I have that binder right here.
You found the continent. You found the city. You found the continent. You found the country. You found the town. You found the.
There it is.
And then you looked up what was on the menu, and you said, "No, that's not there." And I was like, "What is happening here?"
Wow.
Just come up with something.
The thing is, I had already come up with something a long time ago.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I mean, to be fair, you're not just gonna show up at the seafood place and think you're gonna get
vodka.
funnel cakes.
I know, but it's obviously, but it's both what makes Chris's game world feel really real as well. So I'll give it some credit there.
But also annoyingly real.
No, it can be a problem as well. Yeah.
But yeah, it's almost like you're doing that kind of you're going to be somebody who builds a version of Minecraft within Minecraft or whatever, right? You've gone and you build the reality in virtual reality, so that and you're like, wait, where am I now?
Hey, but it's reality by my rules.
That's right. You are the lawnmower man.
Oh, I don't remember that movie at all.
It ain't great, but it kind of blew me away as a kid.
Yeah,
anyhow.
Me too.
Another screw up that I had, this one is big. I play apparently, and I don't even know where I'm screwing up here, and so maybe you guys can help me out. Get me out of this hole. Whenever I'm a player, and I'm hardly ever a player, but when I am a player, I play apparently like a GM. And I don't understand why this is a bad thing, but apparently a lot of GMs don't like it.
I think we just had an example of it, actually.
All right, you simmer that up. No, but I guess I'm just taking narrative control, and a lot of our previous episodes are talking about giving players narrative control and whatnot, and I've sort of been not invited back from a lot of groups because they're just he doesn't kind of play the way we want him to play, and I'm like, I don't get what I'm doing wrong here.
I think what it is you don't play like a normal player in most groups. No, it's true.
That's like a metaphor for my life. I don't act like a normal person in most jobs.
Take it as you will. You don't play like a normal player, because
what's a normal player then?
Oh, most people will see normal players there are often people that, they take a little bit of work to get into their characters, right? You're all in from
because I've given all the thought. Yeah.
Because you've done it a million times over, right? You've had practice being a million PCs with every NPC that you've added to your world, right? So
I love how psychological this episode has become. It's very
honestly, I think I might understand. Chris is homing in on it, because I had people say that it intimidates them for me to join a one-off or jump in, be a character for a campaign, because I'm a fantasy writer. They're like, now I feel nervous. So I wonder if there's a bit of that.
I don't think it's an intimidation thing. I don't think that because I was in your game world, man. But go extend your thought here, Chris, because I think you're getting to a hypothesis here.
It's just when you see someone who's been a DM for a long time play a game, it's very different from just your average player.
Mhm.
Because they've been on the other side, right? Right. And
isn't
some of their
isn't the best thing to play to GM to a group of GMs, because like now everyone knows what's going on. Everyone knows how to. It's like
No,
improv.
I'm going to tell you, you are unique in this. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat.
No. For some GMs, it's okay, right? Like I love when GMs are playing in my game, right? Because they know the struggle, they know the pain. But I'm sure there's some that want that creative control. They don't want people to like take away anything from their I guess rule from their iron fist. So yeah, I do think there's a little bit of you're taking away something from their DM style by adding your DM style in there.
I see. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I'm going to die on this hill. This happens with raid leaders too. When you have a raid leader in your group in a MMO, you're just like expecting them to speak up. You're expecting them to be like agitated by your style and things. Like there is a sense of like, I'm being judged and out of nowhere, right? And you just have to be used to it, and you just have to get better and better and better at what you're doing and more comfortable that it doesn't matter anymore. But it takes a while to get to that stage where you're not worried about that, thinking about it. It's not impacting what you're doing.
Indeed.
By the way, I love having you in my games. I've had a great time every single time. So.
Oh, shucks. Well, thank you very much. I love how psychological this episode is becoming, but we need to take a little break. Let us take a little break for our sponsor. I had vocal fry on that last one.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. This episode of already.
We're already the ad section.
I'm not even doing it.
I know. You're not even doing the ad. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Jay's favorite part.
It's become because it's chaos. I love chaos.
Yes, you do. This episode of the 3RPG podcast is brought to you by
B.A.R.D.s. B.A.R.D.s are the new thing, baby. B.A.R.D.s are the newest type of underwear that you can wear before you go to your concert of choice. Wear B.A.R.D.s and you will become confident, musical, artistic, full of hideous laughter, and completely thirsty for everyone that's at this place. B.A.R.D.s underpants are the new type of underpants brought to you by 3RPG, like that are kicking out thunderoos. What are they called?
What?
I think they're underoos, maybe?
Underoos.
This episode of the 3RPG podcast is brought to you by Thunderoos. Wear Thunderoos, and your farts will be contained until you take them off, where all of your farts for the entire week will erupt. Entire week? Ew, you're wearing those underpants. Okay, basically what I'm pitching here is a type of underpants that is either B.A.R.D. based or magic based that you wear that gives you a type of skill. Some of our clients include...
I wasn't able to swim until I threw on my butt. Swimderoos? Swimderoos? I don't know.
B.A.R.D.aroos? These things are impenetrable. No thanks.
Sandra does her first character, and it's terrible.
I'm trying to do a cougar, and I'm not one.
Oh, that's what that was.
Oh, is that what that was?
Dude, you do not have me here for this.
B.A.R.D.s underpants coming to a RPG retailer near you.
Wow.
Wow.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of the 3RPG podcast where we talk about failures. Oh, what a meta level.
You're a failure. You are a failure.
Oh gosh, yeah, I was raised Catholic. I know. Every day
Thanks,
of the
Mom.
year. Thanks, Mom.
We are getting into some deep dark stuff today.
I do have a really big one, but I'm gonna. Oh boy, I do have a big failure to bring up. But let's go back to the pool here. Any other stories to bring up?
Sandra, anything else?
Is that a question or a statement?
No, we were just saying.
Could be both.
On an episode about failures, Sandra. God, man,
you gotta have a bag full of them.
I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry.
No. We know you don't mean it that way.
That's how you know it's imposter Chris. He actually means it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what was your actual question, Chris? To me?
I was just wondering if there are any other failures, either player or DM failures that you can remember that have left an impact.
This one's like really close to my heart because of the work I do outside of this podcast. And that's like fucking up your lore. The bigger the world, the more characters. Once you got like 50 NPCs following you, you got to remember all the birthdays. Otherwise, drama ensues.
Oh no, they don't have birthdays. They're all orphans, so they don't remember their real birthdays.
Oh, sweet! Oh
no!
Hey, can we have some more?
I know, I'm joking.
More orphans, everyone. But yeah, I was gonna I know how we deal with it in publishing, in your own stories and things like that. How you deal with messing up your lore, retcons, things like that. There's certain tried and true methods to changing things you need changed without really, really upsetting the fans, kind of a thing. But I'm wondering, how many times have you guys messed up the lore? Did you change it? Did you hope they wouldn't remember that something was a certain way?
Time travel became part of my lore. Whoops.
Yeah. Oh, that will screw up everything so fast. So,
in terms of lore, I'm pretty good. I keep a lot of notes, and I have my spreadsheet of 200 plus pages of characters. So I'm always referencing things, and I have a pretty good idea of what has been done already. So lore mistakes really aren't a huge problem for me.
Ow, Chris, that's a flex.
It is a nice flex. The lore problems, I suppose, are not necessarily a problem for me, because the way I deal with lore is I just present concepts, and the way the players interact with the world becomes the lore. And then that just develops. The world is never the world until players are in it, and then that becomes what the world is. And so it's sort of. So
what I'm hearing is it's not Jay's problem; it's mine as the bookkeeper.
Partially.
Gotcha.
No. But no, it's a very interesting thing. I think you can, if you ever run into as a GM or a player group, as a D&D group, RPG group, that runs into a situation where you reach a kind of impasse of lore that's things I'm telling you, you could just retcon it. Just retcon it out easy. Some people feel bad about doing that kind of stuff, but it's just do it.
Yep. Just
do it.
Well, I had a couple of ideas. If you have some players, lore means a lot. And I'm gonna say that I'm probably in one of those camps. I'm gonna hold really fast to lore on IPs that I'm interested on, campaigns I'm interested. Probably why I like taking notes so much.
Things, you can't change some of those fundamental things. What does the One Ring do?
Yeah.
All of a sudden it has a new power, then you've broken the game.
Yeah. It's where's the story even going? So a couple of just easy things that you can adapt if you need to change lore. And this is book level stuff. This is gaming. This is everything. Is conflicting history is a thing. We know that if you pick up a history book in different parts of the world, you're going to get a different account. So just have different societies say, oh no, the version you had was from this society, and this is why they had this view.
I've made some decisions in my game that were bad decisions. I have a hatred for teleportation spells.
Oh.
So I've made it that there's always the chance that your character just won't
Eyes.
come out on the other side. And originally I did it to restrict escaping battles and combats and things you didn't like, just by casting a spell. I that concept annoys me to the nth degree, pretty much.
I think it's like me with dark vision.
Yeah.
There's no point of having a dark room anymore because everyone sees in the dark. So what's the point? Yeah. So I get it.
So I've made rules for if you're at 18th level, there's a 2% chance that you won't come out on the other side. Right? If you're 15th level, then there's a 5% chance.
So did you have a character die teleporting?
Oh yes, I've had.
They wound up inside a working microwave.
I've had 4 characters die that way.
Whoa!
But you can turn this into a thing. Where do they go? Where do they go though?
Yeah, but I made it a point that you can't ever get them back because if you can get them back, then what's the point of making this rule?
Meat grinder.
No, you can't get them back until you can because there's some place in the corner of the world. There's some weird.
I didn't want to introduce
scientist that's.
I
coming
didn't want to introduce.
Back.
I know there was the option.
Introduce it.
There was that option, but I didn't introduce it intentionally.
I'm leaning into his mistake. Like, this is a mistake that I made, but no, I'm sticking with it.
I get it. This is a stakes problem. Like. There needs to be no chance, and that makes that using that teleportation needs to be really important.
But at what cost, right?
I see. Well, okay, let me tell you what I think was my biggest mistake, and it's not turning your character into a cat, Sandra. I'm more pity because I still think that was a great moment, but the biggest moment. I think my biggest mistake moment was what came from a moment that I thought would be a great moment because I'm all theater of the mind and I'm all about like a fascinating and fun story. And so what I did was, and you already know this story, Chris, brought in a new player as part of the group. They were playing in a campaign in which the spies were abound. They had to watch out about like who was kind of double crossing them and whatnot. And I brought in a player and I told this player, "You're working for the enemy." And then what happened was in the game, the party got split. This player who was the spy, who was like here for a one-off, was with like one of the regular week-to-week players. They went into a little cathedral. They encountered an enemy in which they killed the enemy, but at the same time the regular player was knocked down, and it was a moment of like the other player can just pick them up, heal them, or leave, and it was expected that they would heal them because they're part of the party. But since they were a spy, they did a coup de grace and they killed the character outright, and the whole table went crazy. Bonkers. Yeah. We had to like stop the game. We had to have like conferences. We had people had to discuss what was going on. Yada yada yada. It was a huge mistake, and from my perspective, I thought it was a fun twist. It was like he was the spy all along. You guys were looking for who the spy was, who it was. The player's perspective, however, and maybe Chris, do you want to jump in here?
Well, it's when that happens, you can't trust any of the other players at the table then from that point on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's sort of the vibe that I wanted to create, though, because I wanted to create this idea of like,
But that's not what we signed up for.
No, well, exactly.
It is a buy-in. It's a buy-in again.
It is a buy-in. Is it a buy-in moment? And yeah, the problem was that people said like when a new player joins the party, the buy-in is that they're part of the group and they're looking for the group's best interest. They're not working against the group, and I think that is a very solid point. Lesson learned. I still think it was one of the more iconic and memorable moments in our gaming history, but it could have been done maybe a little bit better by saying one of you is going to be the spy, and so on and so forth.
But again, that causes other problems as well.
Well, but like I think we've talked about this before. House on the Hill is kind of a broken board game in my opinion, but there's a legacy element of it. And spoiler alert to anyone who's going to play the legacy House on the Hill game, is the first of all of the games that you play is the best one, where it says like one of you is a witch. You have to kill the witch before they escape, and so you all kill each other. It turns out none of you are the witch. The house has haunted all of you and made you think that there's a witch. It was a mistake. For the fact that it wasn't prepared correctly, and so I still think that could work. But DMs that want to try that might want to try it without just bringing it up like on a meta level, which is what I did accidentally. So that's my biggest one.
I think if you did that, if you let us know from the first session, then that would have worked, right? But if you just pop that in on like session 7, and from 1 to 6, we've been under the impression that you
were trying to undercover like a spy network. To be fair, and me as a DM, I'm always trying to find ways to sort of break the genre open into new avenues. So anyway, but whatever.
But then after that session, it was like, hey guys. Hey, John wants to join our group. Let's kill him! Let's kill John!
I know.
Well, and that's the final point, is that you hope to always foster teamwork, right? With your players. You want that cohesion, and the suspicion breaks. You can't have both. So I guess that's really the toss-up. Do you do this or do you do this?
My girlfriend, she doesn't like playing board games where you're against each other. She only likes the cooperative board games nowadays, right? And if I were to throw that suddenly, one of you guys is actually working against the team, I don't know if she'd have a good time. Knowing
that's really it. With our campaign, even these crossing over conflicting motivations, we're following the story. To us, the RP, the story, the characters is everything. And damn well where these characters are coming from, what their motivations are. So don't run afoul of them. It's not a surprise that when one person is going to fight another. And that's really the key. It's like we know what's going to happen. We're going in semi-informed.
A lot of the storytelling is essentially kind of defending a character's motivations for doing a thing. We're talking about why they did it, and then the storytelling becomes that. Then how do those other characters with different viewpoints adapt or defend their own positions in the matter, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that's my big one. But we're going along here, so give you guys your big ones, and let's see how other tables might be able to react and avoid maybe potentially these problems.
So yeah, my big sin is definitely when there's just something so damn funny, and you're like, I'm not gonna break immersion. I'm not gonna break it. I'm not gonna burn. You just do it anyway, or somebody
especially
else does it.
Especially in a horror game.
Oh god, yeah. The more tense I get, the more I'll pick up on a funny one-liner to throw, and I'm fighting with myself so damn hard. And then somebody else just says something, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So the immersion breaking.
It's like farting at a funeral.
Yeah. Yeah. So
everything's calm and quiet, and collected, and solemn, and then it's like, what? Come on, man. You had a moment here.
I can usually hold back from saying something, but oh god, once you just kind of do a little it's over. The whole table just loses it, and I'm bad. I'm so bad at that. I'm so sorry. And there's no recovery for 5 minutes.
You guys know what I'm cracking with it, but Chris, what do you got? What do you got to send us off here for today?
Okay, my worst sin, I guess, as a DM is
bringing a bag of potato chips when you should have brought marshmallows.
Hey, that's not my sin.
Again, you'll know it's his clone.
No, fights that are far too complex. I have these grand ideas of what these fights could be, and it's just too many working parts. It's miniatures. You have 20 NPCs. Just it becomes a slog fest. It's the worst. Fights. I've had fights that were 8 hours, and even at some points I was like, okay, I just wanna quit, but I can't because
Too deep.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, this is like I feel like there's a little bit of a mini flex. It's like, you know what my biggest weakness is? I work too hard at these games.
No, this is
It's like,
negative.
it's
Though.
like
This
a
is
job interview. It's a job interview. What's your strength? I work too hard. What's your weakness? I work too hard.
there are some fights that I've made that were far too complex that even
Right.
like to the point where I was having a hard time keeping track of everything.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So I think this is yet another idea for a future episode, but like the zoom, pulling the zoom back. When we started our big kind of like multi-year spanning campaign, and I had a big battle. We had a battle that lasted 3 sessions. So it was like 12 hours long. That was a battle.
Yeah.
But it was a battle on multiple fronts. There was like the naval front, there was like an airdrop front, there was this, and it was all this was happening. It was very slow, very meticulous, and we had It was 5 sessions. Thank you. And we had characters moving troops around, and we did hex encounter on top of the whole game, and like it had to zoom in. It was basically a game of Total War. They were moving like the video game. They were moving troops around, and these troops had kind of like cohesion levels, and there was like roll tables that they had to roll on. They were moving them around, and then they would zoom down like what's happening on the local level, then it would zoom back out and then go to another place, and it was epic as hell. And it took a long time.
And we're playing multiple characters. Like
And
there are a lot of characters all over the board. Yeah.
See, that sounds like there are breaks there, right? There are breaks between. You're not in initiative the entire time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There were like the evenings when
There's huge stories in between it. Yeah.
Right. And that's where I think my combat fell. It was like initiative the entire time. It was just combat, and it was not good.
Because your battle mat, right?
It's battle mat, but concepts though. I had 2 fights going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And one was like 100 meters higher than the other, and they're fighting a god down below, and all things that affect each battlefield affected the other battlefield, and it was just a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
And I'm pretty sure we have an episode coming up that discusses this exact topic, because it's something that comes up a lot. Like everyone wants to have that epic final battle, but it's like, how do you not drag it on? How do you not? And I think between the experience here, it's absolutely doable even for new GMs.
Awesome. Well, I think in the end, reflecting on these mistakes is actually more of a reflection on like how these were all memorable moments. Even the screw ups are memorable moments.
Oh yeah,
right?
Definitely.
So we're not trying to say that like try to avoid them. They're going to happen no matter what. But it's how you kind of learn from them, what you can take from them, and hopefully, any listeners might want to tell us about your mistakes, the things that you made as a player.
Please share.
We want to hear them, and we'll dissect them and pull them apart.
That's right. No, we're not going to do that.
I'm joking. Oh my gracious.
Evil Chris is here.
Evil Chris.
Evil Chris. I'm here to pull apart all of your...
Yeah, water bottle, spray.
And he's
spray. No, this doesn't work. Sulfuric acid, water spray. Evil Chris's skin is leaking off.
Hey, guys, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what came over me.
Spray.
Pour it all over.
They saw through it.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. Let us know what you think. Let us know your horror stories from your game, things where you really screwed up and how you fixed it. We all can learn. Put it in the comments below. Anyone who's a long-time listener, please give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Visit our Patreon, all that, yada, 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 yada.
You ought to come up with a formal version of that.
The 3RPG podcast is produced and performed by Sandra Rosner, Chris Takasaki, and Jay Underwood. Music and audio editing, mix, and master is done by Jay Underwood, art by Chris Takasaki. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or have any questions, please email us at 3rpg. If you'd like to support the 3RPG podcast, please visit our Patreon or visit our website at www.3rpg.com. That is THREERPG.com.